did not clarify just how it is the Democrats' fault. In an interview with Fox News, he addressed two GOP proposed immigration bills, one a hardline proposal, the second a more moderate bill. He said he wouldn't sign the moderate version, which calls for an end to the policy of separating children from families. But a White House spokesperson now says, or official rather, says the president misunderstood the question and that he does actually support that bill. Meanwhile, a group of Senate Democrats have also introduced a bill to keep parents and their children together. Joining me now to discuss all of this and how it recalls our history as a nation is Jason Nichols. He's a liberal commentator, a lecturer of African American Studies from the University of Maryland, College Park. Professor, thank you so much for joining me. You have actually said that you believe that African American groups need to have a louder voice on this issue.
I do. I really believe that this is reminiscent of things that have happened in our history. First of all, starting from the very beginning, we have to understand what it is that's happening, and even undocumented immigration. We have to understand who Harriet Tubman was and what the Underground Railroad was. That was actually people crossing socially constructed borders without documents or authorization. That's literally what they were doing. So I think that, the separation of families, another person who's from my home state, Frederick Douglass, describes in his narrative being taken away from his mother while she screamed and kicked and was dragged away from her child. And so when we see a young infant being taken away from the mother's breast, that should really strike a nerve with us. We also see separation of African-American families today by a crooked justice system. So I think that these issues are tied. I think that our communities are tied, and that we need to speak up on this issue.
I want to play a little bit of sound from the Attorney General yesterday, something he said. Let's take a listen. I'll get your reaction.
Sure.
I would cite you to the Apostle Paul and his clear and wise command in Romans 13 to obey the laws of the government, because God has ordained the government for his purposes.
It's interesting to hear him cite religion and the Bible. A lot of critics are saying, hey, the Bible is also used falsely to justify slavery.
Absolutely. It was used falsely to justify slavery, to justify segregation. It's been used over and over again. This is an old tactic. And as a matter of fact, it really, really shows what this administration stands for and how they're willing to pervert their own religion for the ends that they want. And it's really shameful. And, it's really we're at a moment in history where we are going to repeat history in a shameful way. And I think we really have to stand up as Americans and call this out.
And a lot of Americans have been, and I've gone so far to say that I feel that we all need to make sure we're on the right side of history with this one. This is how we will be remembered. And these children will become adults, and they will carry this trauma with them. Jason Nichols, African American Studies lecturer, liberal commentator, thank you so much for your time and for your input on the show. Appreciate it.
Kayla, I really appreciate it.
So the president gave us